Just as he's beginning to swing, I dropped my whole bag of clubs. And he would stop and look at me, those teeth gritting. And he'd start again. I'd throw a dozen golf balls in front of his ball.
But he'd never push me over the edge.
I don't know if there are many things that are more precious than the relationship between a man and his son, because a man is teaching his son the world as is going to treat him. And so in order for him to exist in that world, he's going to have to learn some principles. They're not going to be fun principles to learn, but when he's going to need those principles the most, they'll be there for him. That's what a good dad does. And that's what Tiger got from his dad.
But he'd never push me over the edge. He would take me right up to the breaking point and he'd back off.
He'd stop again, and I'd say, hey, look, are you through showboating? So either hit or get off the course. And then he would stripe it. Just hit it perfect and turn around and look at me. And never say a word, but that look said, now take that and go walking down the fairway.
Tired is for the weak. Mentally strong. Go. Harder. Good. Jog back. Go get the ball. I'm going to throw it to the fence if you don't jog back. Here we go.
This is the viral video of Rick Brunson teaching his son, Jalen Brunson, how to be tough, teaching him mental toughness, something that we've heard before.
I said, Tiger, the training is over. I said, you've got it. And I promise you that you'll never meet another person as mentally tough as you in your entire life. And he hasn't, and he never will.
For those of us that were lucky enough to grow up with wonderful fathers like I did, we can remember experiences like these. Whether it's the first time you have a tackling dummy in the backyard and you're learning how to wrap up properly on a tackle, or if there's a tire in the middle of the yard and your job is to make sure that you can throw the ball between the center of that tire 3 times in a row to make sure that you get accurate enough to strike out kids on the baseball team. Whatever it may be, this exercise in a man teaching his son how to be mentally tough is one of the best gifts a man could give his son.
Follow through. Everything you do has to be legit. Habits. It's not fast enough. No follow through, not fast enough. Tired is for the weak. Mentally strong. Go.
Rick Brunson, father of NBA All-Star Jalen Brunson, didn't necessarily have a stellar NBA career. He played on 8 or 9 different teams. He never averaged more than 10 points a season, but getting to the NBA itself is a feat. But even with his college stats being somewhat mediocre by today's standards, and even never shooting more than 70% in college, there was a reason why he was drafted into the NBA as a 4-year senior. And that has to do with the reputation of a man who's known for mental toughness.
And you send your kids out there pushing and shoving. The guys did a hell of a job. You had the best officiating you could ever get here. And for you to ride them, I want to be a part of that.
The whole story kind of informs like who the person is. John Chaney was a tough, it wasn't an act. He was a demanding, tough, passionate guy.
I just got my ass blasted for giving them hell down in West Virginia. And here you get a hell of a job right here today. Good job. 3 class guys. And you pick them out here and single them out.
John Chaney was unapologetically himself. He had a fiery brand of coaching and masculinity, might I add, that some people did not necessarily jive with. And when it was time for him to let you know he's not going to back down, he didn't back down.
You can't get that. You got to never threaten the guy. Shut up, guy. You can't never threaten the guy. I'm killing you. You remember that. When I see you, I'm going to kick your ass.
Many remember John Chaney most for his fiery tirade with John Calipari. In my opinion, it was a kind of boil over of just difference of opinions, if you will, where John Calipari saw college as get the best players you can, win as soon as you can, and John Chaney saw his players as his sons, and he coached them as such.
You could find a youngster who's lacking in so many things, his math and his English, but you walk up to that youngster and say to that youngster, you are the most disciplined person I know. And guess what? Discipline is a higher form of intellect. You tell that goddamn kid on your team that he is disciplined and it's a higher form of intellect.
When John Chaney mentions discipline, he's not playing around. Though he never won a national championship or made a Final Four appearance, most players who came up under Chaney credit his coaching as some of the best they've ever had, saying it helped make them who they are today. Discipline was his prime coaching style, and he made sure players had a team-first mentality. Practice began at 5:30 a.m. That way the players were free to attend their studies with no interruptions. No celebration after plays, so players could focus on the next one. Focus was his key, both in school and on the court.
Clark has a fire and passion unmatched, and that likely comes from her dad, Brent.
I can relate to her passion, but she does a much better job of, controlling herself.
When you see pictures and interviews of Catlin Clark's father, he seems rather chill. He doesn't really seem like he's a very animated guy.
Does she get her talent from you or your wife?
Well, certainly Ann is pretty athletic, but, I did play basketball and baseball in college at Simpson College in Indianola, just south of Des Moines, so...
We'll call it a split?
We'll call it a split.
In a time where we're seeing expanded views on gender and fathers are coaching daughters maybe in the same way they would coach sons, one thing that is clearly apparent is that the very calm demeanor that he has in the interviews is not the same one he has with his daughter when she is maybe not playing her best. And it's clearly apparent that he has instilled in Catlin Clark some very clear mental toughness.
And Clark.
Put Catlin Clark to the stripe.
Oh yeah, that's a foul. Alicia Clark caught her across the face. Seattle, and all of a sudden, we're pretty close. This has been as close as it's been all second quarter long, 44-2.
Now look, I got something to tell you. And don't get upset, because it's for you. I'm taking you out of gymnastics for the rest of this month. Keep running. Keep running. Come on, slide on over here. Come on. Relax. Stop crying. Because guess what? It's for you. Let's go. Let's go. Pick it up. Guess what? It's for you.
In an era where many traditional standards are being challenged, from the way people are dating to even child rearing, or even some people saying that there's no need for a father at all, when we see the tough love that a father can give to a young girl and how it can play itself out, we have to ask, that tough love that men and fathers have given to their sons, do their daughters benefit from that as well?
You've been walking around here like you know everything. You've been acting all arrogant. You got this attitude. Your grades been slipping. You need to keep going. Don't stop. You ain't doing it but going to the park. Let's go. Let's go. You're going to get your butt up every morning. You're going to run. You're going to work on these pull-ups, and you're going to get stronger. You're going to develop your body. You're going to develop your mind, and you're going to develop some damn character.
There's something that Catlin Clark and Jalen Brunson have in common, and it's not just mental toughness, but mental toughness instilled in them from their fathers. And it's very easy in this day and time to look at the dynamic between men and women, or fathers and daughters, and see it as some sort of A word, which gets thrown around often these days. But what's clear is that what Catlin Clark is going through now is not possible. Going through the hard fouls and picking herself up night in and night out and continuing to play if she did not get the mental toughness she got from her father. There's something about the male experience that there are no excuses. You have to perform. You have to do what you're supposed to do regardless, that men instill in their sons when they love them, that it appears that young girls benefit from as well. And so maybe we have to question, is that tough love that fathers give to their sons something that young girls need too? Because the success that Catlin Clark is experiencing, mirroring the success of Jalen Brunson, suggests that maybe there's something to that. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment below. I'll catch you in the next video. Take care, guys.